Okay, so what we are going to do today is we have to use the system application. The system application, or we are going to automate the system application. So one of the system application is calculator, inbuilt calculator, which is given, which is provided with the Windows operating system. Right. Now I am for this again. I am going right clicking on the object, clicking on create object. Then I am giving the name it as Windows calculator. Windows calculator. Then writing the description to automate the system calculator, then clicking on finish. In this way, one video is created, that is Windows calculator. Let's double click on it. Now, when we are dealing with external applications, in the previous case, when we have created the video called calculator, we have not deal with the external application, rather here itself we have designed the calculator. Now we are not going to design the calculator, we are going to use the system calculator. So we want to automate it. So for automating, we need to train the Blue Prism video to open the calculator. Right. Whenever you want to calculate something, the first action you need to take is you need to open the calculator. Then the subsequent actions will be according to your calculation, according to your numbers. You are going to press the buttons, and then you are going to press the equal sign. So the respective calculation will be performed, and the result will be displayed on the screen. Right. So the same thing we want to do train to the Blue Prism video so that it can do for us. So what I need to do with it, or what I should do, and how should I do? So let's begin with it. We have compared the process studio and the object studio windows, right? And on that day I told you it is having two additional two additional buttons in the toolbar, in the debugging toolbar. One is the application modeler, other one is launch. So right click on application modeler. As soon as you click on application modeler, a new pop-up wizard window will open, and it will take the name of application as Windows Calculator by default. Okay, define a new application model. So application name is Windows Calculator. Click on to next. It will ask us which type of application it is. Right, indicate what type of application you are using. So whether it is a Windows application or Java-based application, browser-based application, specifically for Chrome, Firefox, or Edge Chromium. Browser-based application is specifically for Internet Explorer. Some of the applications might support the Internet Explorer. And the last one is the mainframe application. So since Windows Calculator is a system application, so it's a Windows application, right? So I'm going to click onto this Windows application, clicking onto next. Then the next window will ask you whether you are going to run it from an executable file, or whether you are going to run it from already running existence instance. So we are going to run it from an executable file. Okay. Some type of applications such as Skype, whenever you start the system, they start running. So that's why it is asking for the second type of application, second type of choice. So first, whenever we are doing the automation of such inbuilt applications, we have to select the option number 1. My application is launched from an executable file. Next, we need to specify the path from where the executable file exists. Okay, so I am going to browse it. I am going to go into the C drive, Windows. In the Windows, I will find it inside System 32. In the System 32, the executable file. Yes, and open. Right? Now the path has been specified to it, so that the application modeler, every time whenever you ask the application modeler to launch the calculator, we will go through following path. Right? Next, remaining entries we left blank by default. We don't enter anything into it, and then click onto the next, and then click onto the finish button. So one application modeler wizard has been created. Now this application modeler, inside this application modeler, you can find two windows. One is which is showing the element of the application modeler, and the second window is showing the attributes of the application, attributes corresponding to that particular element. So first of all element is Windows Calculator. that Windows calculator is the root of all elements, right? अब अगर हम बात करें सिंपल शब्दों में, तो आपको अगर कैलकुलेटर बनाना है या कैलकुलेटर को ऑटोमेट करना है, तो आपको सबसे पहले कैलकुलेटर को ओपन करना पड़ेगा। कैलकुलेटर ओपन करने के बाद आपको उसके बहुत सारे बटन्स प्रेस करने हैं। यू वांट टू प्रेस बटन 1 2 3 till 9 0 to 9. You want to do any calculation, plus minus, multiply, division, square root, square, and so on so forth, right? And then you want to, for after pressing each calculation, after pressing each operation, you need to press the equal as well. So you will be requiring equal button as well. So Windows calculator is the by default application that the application model is going to launch. And from where it's going to launch, so you can see the attributes. Here are the attributes. It is going to launch. You can find various attributes regarding this. So the path is located here, this path, right? You can change this path according to the application. You try by your own. It will be an exercise for you. Some other application you take and try to automate. Okay. So the first application is to launch this calculator, right? So how to do that? How to do that? So for doing this, I just click cancel onto this application modeler. Just rename the action page as launch. Okay. And I use a navigate stage. The navigate stage is generally used for launching the application, for clicking purpose, for keystrokes, sending the keystrokes, right? For this type of applications, this navigate stage is used. Okay. So I just name the stage, and then I click onto the properties of the navigate stage. I name it as launch the calculator. Launch the calculator. Okay. And then I click onto the Windows calculator and I drag and drop it here, right? When I drag and drop it here, you will find some actions: attach, detach, globals and key events, globals and keys, hide all windows, launch, terminate. So I will select launch as my action, right? What action you want to perform, and input sets yes. So for remaining thing, I will not bother about because these are not required right now. So the Windows calculator is launched now. It is okay. I just press it okay, and I just click on to reset. So no errors are there. I run the process. What happened? Okay. Complete is launched. Now it is launched. Right? So the problem is where now it is launched. You can see now it is launching. So I just didn't press that Control S button. So I did it meanwhile, and it is now launched the calculator. Once again, I am running this. You can see we have launched the calculator. Just pressing the reset button, and the calculator has been launched. This is the Windows calculator has been launched. Now, whenever the Windows calculator is open, you may find these various options, right? Square root, inverse, multiply, minus, plus, divide, right? Decimal. There are other points, right? So I want to press anything. So I just take any example, like one example of it, okay? And I just select another page here as button 1. I want to press button 1. Okay. I take one example of button 1. How to identify the button 1. So for for automating the button 1, again we need to open the application modeler. In the application modeler, the element name I will set as button 1. Button 1. Okay. And here I need to train the video how the button 1 will look like and we have to press the button 1. So how we can train it. Okay. So for training it, we need to launch the application first of all. The first thing you have to do is you need to launch the application. So launch the application. It's launched now. This calculator is launched. Everybody is able to see my screen, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the calculator is launched, and now I want to identify, right, which button I want to automate, right? So I have given the name as button 1. So I will identify. I press the identify. As soon as you press the identify, the window will come, Win32 mode, and it will move across the whole screen to identify which element you want to make a spy. This is called spying mode, right? So press Alt key to switch spy mode. It is written over here, right? So whatever button you want to select. For example, I want to select button 1. So I just hold on to the mouse key to button 1 and press Control and left key. Control and left key. Once again, I am doing this. Okay. What I have done, I am just deleting this. I have deleted. Okay. Now I want to add as an element. So I will add as a child. An element is there. I am giving the name as button 1. Button 1. And now I want to identify something with the already launched application. So for launching the application, I just close the application. Once again, I tell you, everyone, for launching the application, for spying the attributes and spying the buttons, you have to launch the application first. The application is launched now, and then you need to click onto the identify. So whenever you click onto the identify, the identification window will be launched, right? And using that window, you can you can identify anything. Like right now, I am identifying the screen, then this button MC, then MR, then the whole calculator can be identified, then view button, edit button, help button, then this plus, equal, minus, whatever button you want to identify. I click simply, I select that button by pointing the mouse toward that and click Control and Shift, Control and left click. Just remember, Control and left click. You have to press that. Okay. So now you see the attributes window has been filled with some attributes. Okay. I just maximize it. There are various attributes, and we need not to select all the attributes. Rather, when some of the attributes entry is not there, we need to uncheck it, and then we need to press the match button. So whenever we press the match button, only these 4 attributes will be screened by the blue prism to open the button 1 or to press the button 1. Okay. Now you can see there is one another important button there called ordinal. One another important attribute called ordinal number. This is called parent ordinal. Don't use this. We have to use the ordinal number. Ordinal number for every button is different. This is the only parameter which is different for all the buttons of the calculator. Later I will tell you what is the function of this ordinal number. Okay. So now the attributes are available. Now I need to identify, I need to highlight that whether I have selected the proper key or not. So how to check that? So for checking that, we need to press the highlight button. As soon as I press the highlight button, one error is occurring. What notification or error is being sent? Warning, highlight result, more than one matching window found. Now, why it has happened? Clearly you can see button 1 dimensions are matching with button 2, 3, 6, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. So what is the difference between them? So how the blue prism will know that which button is button 1, which button is button 2, which button is button 3. It will remember this from this ordinal attribute. It will remember from the ordinal attribute. So probably you have noted down that or I don't know whether you have noted down that or not. The ordinal number for button 1 is 5. Now let's see how the button ordinal number is decided. The button ordinal number is decided from this MC1. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Equal button is 28 and this MC button is 21 and this MC button is 1. So according to this order, the ordinal number is decided, right? So for this, I need to highlight this again. I need to cancel it. Okay, I just press the OK button, just close the application. Once again, I open the application modeler. And for this, I set ordinal number equal to 5. Okay, I need to check. Then again, I press the match button and I see there are 5 parameters which are being checked by the Blue Prism. Every time whenever you are going to open this video and launching the video for pressing number 1. Okay, so let's apply this. Okay, this is done. Now I will simply take again navigate stage. Sorry, I will simply take one navigate stage. Here it is, navigate stage, and I am simply going to link all these stages and just rename it as click button 1. Click button 1. Okay. Now when you click button 1, you have to select the click button 1 and you have to drop this here button 1 element, and when you click for the action, drop down menu comes, you have to select any one action from this drop down menu. Now previously you have seen whenever we have selected the Windows calculator, there were some other actions here, launch, attach, detach, like these actions, and now the actions have been changed because we are working with click options. So some various click options are available. Click window center, global double mouse click, global double mouse click, global mouse click, global mouse click center, press verify. So I can use either these two, global mouse click center. See what happens when I use global mouse click. Or if I use global mouse click, I need to specify the X and Y coordinates of the dimension of the particular button where it is located in this particular application, right? So instead of using this, I should use global mouse click center where I don't want to specify the X and Y coordinates. So directly it is going to hit the center of the button and the button 1 will be pressed. So I click OK and that's it. The spine up to button 1 has been completed. Let's reset it, just reset all the things and just launch the process. Just refresh it. Just launch the process. Okay, it's telling me because I have not added a page reference stage here. So I will use the page action. Create a reference to the existing page, button 1, finish. Just remove the link from here, delete, join it again, refresh, and now I run it. Refresh. Click on the S done with the changes. Now you can see. Window calculator has been launched button. Okay. I did a mistake. I need to make a page reference here. Now without referencing also it is going to work. Why I don't understand why it is not working. Okay, calculator fine. It should work here also. Okay. Requiring the referencing here. So I just reference, make a reference here. Page reference. Next, button one, finish. And then I can use it as okay, reset it as done changes. Now you can see the button one is pressed. Once again, I am just describing what was the mistake. Mistake was that I have not referenced these two pages. So whenever I am using the Object Studio or as like Process Studio, we have done the referencing. Here also we need to do the referencing. So the launch calculator button action is going to launch the calculator. I need to reference it to perform the button one click. So the click button one action is going to perform the click button one action. Once again, I am running the process, just resetting it and closing the application. Okay. This application is closed and I am running. You can see the calculator is launched. In the very next stage, the button one is pressed. This is how we have automated the we have told the Blue Prism now, or we have made the Blue Prism learn to use the calculator. How it can use the calculator with just a click of it. Okay. So now to use this into a process. Okay. Similarly, we have done in the earlier lecture also. We need to publish this. I just publish this. Okay. I just publish this also. Okay. When I publish this, I will not be requiring this referencing. I can delete this referencing as well. Just delete it. Just connect into it and just have a refresh of it. Button launch. So now I am going to use the Process Studio. Okay. Let's create a process called Windows Calculator process. I have already created a process, Windows Calculator. I just double click onto it and I simply delete all these actions. Okay. I take another action stage and another two subsequent stages. So one of the action I am taking as launching the application. Okay. Launching the application is done. When error is showing because we have not defined the action, so I need to double click onto the action property, launch the Windows or launch Windows KLC. Then you can see from the Visual Business Object window drop down menu, I can find the Windows Calculator VBA. No actions it is showing. It is showing no actions. It should show two actions. Okay. Yes. Save changes. Object Studio. Control S. Studio. We're going to refresh. Later. Now you can see two actions are available. One is launch. I'm using the launch action. Okay. And just press go button and the application is launched. Right. Similarly, I can use another action stage here. Right. Just delete it. Go and take another action stage here and select the Windows Calculator and I select the action as button 1. So I give the name as click button 1. Okay. I just run the process again. Button 1 is pressed. That's it. And you can see automatically the mouse click has been, mouse pointer has been has been signed onto button 1 of the calculator. Right? This is how we have done the automation of the application. This is one of the application. Right? So we go with the, we continue with the Object Studio. See changes. I just minimize this and go on to continuing with button 2, and I just tell you one of the applications that you drive you are on, right? So I just make a duplicate of this because each and every time I don't need to do all the things again and again. So I just name it as button 2. Okay. I make another duplicate of it, name it as button plus. Okay. I name another duplicate of it, make it as button equals. Because I want to perform the addition, so button equal will be required. Similarly, I have to publish all these buttons. Let's publish all these pages inside this video, and you need to change the properties as well. So button 2, button 1, button 2, button 3, button plus, and button equals. Now, before going further, in these pages, we need to train the application modeler to capture the button 2, button plus, button equal, right? So I am going to open the application modeler again. Again, clicking onto this application modeler, the application modeler window will open, right? And add element. I just click onto this, add element. So this is called hierarchical tree structure. It will show the root application and then its branches. So these branches are nothing but the buttons of the calculator, and the Windows calculator, this mainframe app, this Windows application is going to be the root of that particular those particular elements. Now I give the name as button 2, button 2. Okay, and now I click on to launch. The calculator has been launched, and I click on to identify. I just click onto this, select the button 2, click control and left. The attributes have been identified. Click on to match. Just uncheck Windows text because nothing is written here. Okay, and check for the ordinal number. Check for the ordinal number. So ordinal number is 11. Ordinal number is 11. Just check it, and I highlight. So now you can see the button 2 is highlighted. So I just click on apply, and it is done. Now I select another element, add element as button plus, identify, because the application is already launched, right? So I need not to launch it again. Identify, just selecting the button plus, pressing control and left. The attributes have been selected automatically. Just uncheck it, button plus, and see for the ordinal number. So the ordinal number of button plus is 23. Okay, apply. Now I see for highlight, the button plus 1 is highlight. Okay, now I add another element as button equal. Click on identify. This is the identify, right? Click on control and left. These attributes have been matched, and check for the ordinal attribute. The ordinal number is 28. As I told you, the ordinal number of equal is 28, and that is of NC button is 1. So I just click on to highlight. Your calculator is equal button is highlighted. Click on apply and OK. Now we are having we have trained the application modeler to deal with this calculator application, and we have trained the application modeler to use 4 buttons: button 1, button 2, button plus, and button equal. Right now, in the button 2, I will click on to the navigate stage. Just rename it as button 2. Okay, and I drag and drop button 2. Again, it will remain the same, global mouse click center. Okay. Similarly, button plus also, I will click onto this, rename it as button plus. drag and drop button plus, it will remain global mouse click center. Okay. Similarly for button equal, select drag and drop it button equal and I name it as button equal. Okay. Now there is no error. I can save these changes. Okay, so what we have done, we have created one VBU, that is Windows Calculator, to use the inbuilt calculator. For opening the calculator, the first action should be launch. So we have used one page called action one page and renamed it as launch. And then we are training the application modeler to launch the application. To launch the application, we need to define application modeler, right? The application modeler, whenever you click onto the new VBO, it will ask for creating the new application modeler, and the new application modeler will ask you which type of application it is, the path for the application, and some name of the application, right? So by default, the application modeler belongs to Windows Calculator. Okay, so Windows Calculator should be launched. So whenever I click on Windows Calculator, its attributes will be displayed into the right side, and this left side window is going to display the elements of the application. Okay, so the first application was launched. So to select the application or to run the application, I have to use a stage called navigate stage. The navigate stage will always be used for navigating across the pages or navigating through the steps. So this navigation can be done with the help of buttons. This navigation can be done with the help of mouse clicks. So whenever we want to use buttons, whenever we want to use the mouse clicks, we have to use the navigate stage. Okay. So the navigate stage should be configured, what configuration it should be done. So whenever I double click on the navigate property, we will find Windows Calculator, we will drag and drop it, and we will find the actions. So there will be a lot of actions. So we will select the launch action and we will click on the OK. Right? So in this way the calculator will be launched. Similarly, we proceeded for the buttons, button 1, button 2, button plus, and button equal. Right? So I just check it that all these are correct or not. It is okay. Button 2, button 2, button plus is okay. And I just tell you once again the difference between global mouse click and global mouse click center button equal. The difference is that if I select global mouse click, it will ask for the x and y coordinates where you want to point or where you want to press the button correspondingly, right? So we don't want that. We simply want the center. So global mouse click center will not ask about any coordinates, right? So these buttons differ in ordinal number, and I'll show you how the ordinal number is changing, right? So now what we have to do next? So just save the process and with the changes. Save changes, and I'm going to use the process studio to perform the particular action. Right. So in the process studio, we have already used two action stages. One is launch the calculator, other one is click button 1. And now I use the further stages as another action 1 stage, another action stage, and then is 1, 2, plus and equal. Right. So I need to have another action stage. Use another action stage here. Okay. So the button 1 will be pressed. Subsequent button is I want to press the plus button because between the two operators, between the two operands, I need to put the operator first. So operator is important. Here I have to select the operation. I just double click onto it. Click. button plus. The video that I'm going to select is Windows Calculator. The action you can see. Just clicking onto the refresh button. Video is Windows Calculator. And you can see now all the actions. Button plus. Okay. So just remember, just click onto this refresh so that all the changes will be loaded into both the Process Studio as well as the Object Studio. Click onto the refresh. Okay. There is a difference between the refresh and the reset. Reset simply changes the page settings. Refresh changes the overall administrative settings. Action 2. Now, again simply Windows Calculator. Button 2. Okay. Action 3. Click button equal business object as MS Windows Calculator and button equal and okay. Right. And here I have not given the name of the, so I just name the actions. Click button plus. Okay. Here also I name the action as click button 2. Yes. Now all the process has been done. I just reset. You can see the validation showing 0 errors. Now just running the process. So just running the process. The calculator has been launched. Button 1 has been pressed. Plus has been pressed. 2 has been pressed, and equals to has been pressed, and it is running successfully. Right. This is how we have done the automation of an inbuilt application of the system, that is calculator. And similarly, we can do the automation for remaining system applications. This is one of the simple example I am telling. But what is the problem with this particular spine mode? The problem is that if I want to design the whole calculator, I need to spy all these buttons one by one. That means if I go on into the process or object studio, then I will be having 28 different pages, right? As we can see, there are total 28 numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, and 6 more are there. 5 more are there. So 28 numbers are there, right? 28 buttons are there. So I need to create all these pages for each separate button which I want to press, and correspondingly in the Process Studio I need to change the action accordingly. So this is a drawback of this particular system, right? So how we can change it? We can change it using the dynamic allocation of the variable. So just see the next how we can dynamically allocate the ordinal number so that we can change this particular process. For attributes, we can say dynamic allocation of the attributes of the application modeler. Okay. So for dynamically allocating the attributes, we need to click onto the application modeler and click onto the button 1. Click onto the button 1 and then click on match and click on ordinal. Simply here equal, just set dynamic. Now you cannot assign anything statically from here. You can assign from the process itself, right? So now I just apply, you just click on OK. I click on application modeler again because further we won't be requiring any button, right? So I'm just deleting all these buttons. Delete. Delete. And delete. Now I just name it as button only. Button instead of button 1, button, and apply and click on OK. Right? And simply I delete all these pages. Delete. Delete. And delete. Yes. And I rename it as button. Rename it as button. Okay. Okay. So for dynamic allocation, I have to launch. I have to go into the navigate stage property. Select the button. Just drop it here button, and select these parameters. So now you can see I can enter the ordinal number here from here, and if I open the application, right? If I open the application, okay, this application is launched, and now if I want to press anything other than 1, I just select for the ordinal number. The ordinal number, as I told you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ordinal number for ordinal number 1. Ordinal number for 1 is 5. If I want to press 7, I need to input it as 3. Right? And I press OK. Yes, Dishika? You want to ask something, Dishika? So ordinal number I can set according to my choice. I have selected ordinal number as 3. I just click on to OK, and I click on to OK. Okay, and I just click onto the refresh button and just press the save the process. Done. Save changes. Click on reset. I'm just running it. This I just press it. Go to reset. This just name it as button. I have selected the ordinal number as 3. Okay. Okay. I'm launching the application. So resetting it, refreshing it, resetting it, saving again, save changes, and launching this process. Why this problem for right now? Process. Okay, let's use this into the process studio. Let's see whether it is working or not. So using the process studio and delivering all these actions. Delivering all these actions. Clicking on refresh, reset, click button, and use the button action. Okay, okay. Reset and run. Yeah, it is running successfully. Now you can see instead of spying, I have dynamically allocated the variable. Once again, I do this for you. In the Object Studio, what we have done, we have changed the attributes of ordinal to dynamic. This is the ordinal number. How this can be changed? Just click onto this, and before it was equal, so that statically it can be allocated. Now it is dynamic, so no static allocation is required. Okay, so from here I can change this. From the application modeler, I have to select the element and select its attribute. Just click on OK, and in the navigate stage, I have to give the ordinal value. Now suppose I change the ordinal value as 23, right? So 23 is okay, and it is okay. I just save it, done, save changes. I run the process again. So I run the process. Now you can see it has pressed the button plus, because the button plus ordinal number is 23. Right? This is called dynamic allocation. So using this dynamic allocation, I need not to spy each and every button. I can use any button anytime. But now what we should do, this is not the complete process still. The process is still incomplete. What is the remaining thing? The remaining thing is that we need to put the data from the process, not from the object studio, because we are not using the object studio. The object studio will be used in the background. So how I can put the data from the ordinal or ordinal value, how I can put. So for putting the ordinal value, I need to set two data items, right? One one data item for one data item for ordinal number, another data item for selecting the process, right? I can use that such type of two data items to input the ordinal number. Okay, I am just once again doing all those things for you people, right? So this is the launch page, application modeler. In the application modeler, I am using the button window. Okay, so if I click on launch, then the application is launched successfully, and you will find two buttons over there. One is highlight and one is identify. You need to click on to identify. अब ये because we have already done it, तो ये पूछ रहा है कि क्या आप उसी को override करना चाहते हो, you want to replace it, so we can click on to yes, and I can select button 1, right? I need to select the pointer over there and press Control and left click. Now these attributes will be displayed. These attributes will be displayed. Then I click on to match, uncheck the Windows text because there is nothing value over there, and check the ordinal value. Don't check the parent ordinal, only check the ordinal value.
सर ये एट्रीब्यूट्स ही नहीं आ रहे हैं सर.
हाँ, वो आइडेंटिफाई नहीं हो रहा तो एट्रीब्यूट्स कैसे आएंगे डियर? एंड देन चेक टू अप्लाई एंड देन ओके. तो इससे फिर से हम इसको चेक कर लेते हैं एप्लीकेशन मॉडलर से जाके, राइट? आई जस्ट नीड टू क्लोज दिस, then I open the application modeler again, and then I launch it. When I launch it, now it asks for highlighting. So if I have correctly spied the particular button, then it will show us the same button. So when I click on highlight, you can see the one button has been covered with the red lines. Once again I click on highlight, the one button will be covered with the red lines. So you have to first identify the button, then you click on highlight to check whether you have selected the proper button or not. So this is the process. This is you have to do. Okay, ये प्रॉब्लम हम सॉर्ट आउट कर लेंगे, ये कोई बड़ी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, इसके लिए मैं बात कर लूंगा, it will be solved. Okay, till then I tell you the next thing that we have to do, right? That navigate stage I have to take for launching the application, right? I will drag and drop it. I will launch the application. I will click on OK. Then I will connect the stages and simply check. And I add another button over here, another page over here. New page name is button. Okay. And the button page, I use another navigate stage, and the navigate stage I give name as click button, and I just drag and drop it and make it global mouse click send. What I need to change is going into the application modeler that we were discussing in the previous session, कि हम इसको dynamically allocate कर सकते हैं. Okay, so for that I click on the application modeler, and in the button section, in the button attributes, I go on to the ordinal value, or simply I can click on to the matched ones, go on to the ordinal value and select it as dynamic. Now I apply and I click on OK. Now for with the same button, with the same spine, I can press 4 different buttons using the ordinal value. That is what called dynamic allocation of the variable, right? So I just pick it aside and I take 2 data items. One data item is given the name as ordinal. Ordinal. Its data type will be number. Another data item is the input button. Now why we are doing this? We are doing this because we want to use the object into the process. So input button, it will be a text type. Okay. There are 2 data items I have taken. Let's see these data items, how they work and how we can enter the value from the process studio. Right now I click onto this button and I click onto the parameter and I set this as ordinal. Now the ordinal value will be passed into this and accordingly our calculator will run. So this ordinal value will pass into this and then calculator will run. It will be like that. Okay. So for specifying all the 4 numbers, I should take a choice stage, right? In the choice stage, I will make choice for 4 buttons. Button 1, button 2, button plus, and button equals. Right, what is the choice criteria? The choice criteria should be, this should be equals to, or rather, I should take this input button should be equals to a value equal to 1. Since it is in text, I will copy this, Control V, Control V, Control V, and I will change the values only to it is plus and it is equal, and I click on OK. Right. So corresponding to these 4 choice stages, I have to take 4 calculation stages to to understand the studio about how we can input the value from the process. So I take 4 calculation stages and name them as click button 1. Right. Now in the expression what I will fill. So in the expression now I will fill the ordinal value. Right. So ordinal value for button number 1. What is the ordinal value for button number 1 is 5. Right. I click on this and I store this in the input button. No, sorry. I should store this in the ordinal. It should be stored in the ordinal. And I will write as OK. Okay. So how I am knowing that the button ordinal number is 5. Once again I tell you. Okay, just go into the application modeler and launch the application. Right. To see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So ordinal number for 2 is 11, ordinal number for plus is 23, and ordinal number for equals to is 28. Right? So I'm going to enter all these choice criterions here. Expression for button 2. Button 2, the ordinal value is 11. Store it into the ordinal and click on OK. Then click button plus, the ordinal value is 23. Store in ordinal. Click on OK. Click button equals, click button equals expression, button equals, the expression is 28. Now I'll connect all the links to these choices. And all the choice stages to click button 1. And then it will be end, and then it will be start. And check for the validation. There is one error occurring, missing link in the otherwise. So there is no problem. I can make it as otherwise. So the errors are removed. Now I save the application. It's done. Save changes. Refresh. Just minimize it. And open the calculator process, Windows calculator process. Right. So in the Windows calculator process, I just again delete these all options which we have created earlier. Launch Windows calculator action is going to launch the Windows calculator. This is by default application. Now second action I will take again the 4 actions. Action 1, 2, 3 and action 4. And then I will take one end stage. Right, now just linking all these stages. And setting the all actions. So action 1 is click button 1, Windows calculator. Refresh, reset, Windows calculator. Oh, I did a mistake over there. Probably I didn't publish that. Yes, it was not published, so I need to publish it. Publish it, refresh, reset, and save. Process Studio, again resetting it, refreshing it, going to the action, Windows calculator. Now I can see button and I will click on OK. Right. Similarly, I will check for Windows calculator and button. Okay. Then Windows calculator and button. Okay. And again Windows calculator and button, and then right. So one step is still missing. That we have not made any choice for the input parameter from the process itself. So how that can be done? I need to configure the start stage here. Once I configure the start stage here, right? So I add is input button value from process. Data item must be text, and it should be stored in input button data item, right? Because it is a text data item. So I click on to OK. Then I click on refresh, reset, and save it. Done. Save changes, right? Next, I go on to the Process Studio, and now I will configure the action stage. All of these. Just refresh it, reset it. Yes, now you can see the input button value has come. So you will right now write it as equals to 1. Sorry, in the double quotes, you will write it as 1. Okay. Second button plus. So you will write in double quotes as plus. Click on OK. Then you will click on, you will select the button number 2 in the double quotes. And then you will click on button number equals and OK. And I click on reset and check for any validation error. So now suppose everything is right, it will done in a similar manner. Only the launch button from the launch option is not available because it will launch directly from the video. So this is done. This is done. Okay, so I just named these actions as click button 1, click plus, click 2, and click E. Okay. So using the single button spine, I have captured all the buttons using the ordinal values. That is the benefit of dynamic allocation of the variable or dynamic allocation of the ordinal value. So I just run the process. Let's see it is working or not. So I just save the Object Studio as well. Done. Save changes. Save the Process Studio as well. Save changes and run. You can see the calculator has been launched, 1 has been pressed, plus 2, 3 and equals to. This is working in the similar way, right? So there is no problem in this particular application, whether we are statically allocating the variable or we are allocating dynamically the ordinal value. The calculator application is being launched in a similar way.
Life has become, you should know.